In this week's Know Your Enemy, we're talking with longtime Dolphins beat writer who now writes for AllDolphins.com, Omar Kelly. And me and Omar go back from my time out in Miami, but I'll bring that up later.
Streets, Brandon.
I'm grown with a kid now. I don't run the streets anymore unless it's Sesame Street. All right, let's go.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, too.
All right, let's get back into it. Both teams took L's in week 4. You guys are bouncing back after that loss to Buffalo, and you saw what happened to the Giants on Monday Night Football. So be honest with me. What's the beat and Dolphins fans' thoughts on this game coming up on Sunday?
This is a get-right game. Certainly with the way that the Giants' O-line is looking right now, you got to think that the Dolphins' defensive line, which hasn't had a very productive outing in the first 4 games of the season, you got to think they're licking their chops. Bradley Chubb has really had a quiet start to his season. He doesn't look like a $100 million player. And right now, this is his opportunity, whether Andrew Thomas is out there or not, his opportunity to sort of get back in the good graces of this fan base. The Dolphins have to be more effective on the defensive line in terms of stopping the run and hunting after the quarterbacks. What's really a big problem with this team is that the offense is humming. They're one of the top offenses in the league, but the defense is trailing in the back of the pack, and they really need to get their act together.
All right, so, bring us into it. Bring us into the huddle down there. What are you guys talking about in the sense of what spots on that Dolphins defense that the Giants could potentially take advantage of?
Well, really, there's concern about the defensive line and Miami's inability to stop the run. I know Saquon Barkley is not all the way healthy, and he's tried to come back against the Dolphins once previously, I believe, coming back from his knee injury, and it didn't look so good. But this linebacking core from Miami is really questionable. It's a little bit troublesome. Right now, Andrew Van Ginkel is the top performer on this Dolphins defense, and that's surprising considering he's a guy that was re-signed into a special teams contract. He shouldn't be your top performer on defense, and that's just an indication that all the other expensive top-end players are not performing.
Yeah, we're talking about Saquon Barkley. If he doesn't play, Matt Breida stepped in for him. We're talking 19 total touches for 78 yards. So that is definitely going to have to be something or somewhere that the Giants can take advantage of. We're talking about that Dolphins linebacker core. Let's Riverside it. Wink Martindale versus Mike McDaniel. Give us the blueprint to stop this Dolphins offense. Are there any weaknesses?
Well, really, the Bills had success because they got pressure with 4 on 5, 4 on 6. It didn't matter. Tua was rattled. I think you have the talent from a Jets standpoint, especially with your interior players, to get that pressure on Tua. What makes me uncomfortable is Liam Eichenberg. He replaced Connor Williams as a starting center. Truly struggled. He's probably going to have to start for a second straight game unless you're ready to play a 70% Connor Williams. And that could be your area to take advantage of this Dolphins team. The question is, are they going to get the line fixed? And it's hard to say that they are because they're going to have to probably play the next month without Teron Armstead, who suffered a knee injury against the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Give us a game prediction.
Well, certainly because this game is in South Florida, and you know what that South Florida heat and humidity is like. Yeah. I expect just about every team to melt in the third quarter and be ready to tap out. You've been it, you lived it. It's different. You're not used to it. Yeah. The Dolphins are, so that gives them the home field advantage, especially in September and November. I think that the ultimate equalizer is when the weather starts to cool down. So I'm going to predict pretty much a 28-17 Dolphins win.
Yeah, I had to get IVs just to get to the stadium. That's how hot we're talking about down there. It's pretty cool up here.
You don't realize Tyreek leaves the game right before the half so that he can go get an IV and be ready for the second half.
Yep. Hey, tell the people where they can find you, Omar.
You can find me at AllDolphins.com. We also do a podcast where we're talking all things Dolphins all the time. You can find that at alldolphins.com on YouTube and under Miami Dolphins Insiders on podcast platforms.
I appreciate you jumping on and appreciate the love you showed me when I was down there playing for the Fins.
Time, big dog. You were still an underrated receiver, in my opinion. So I'm glad to see you still doing your thing.
Underrated receiver that modeled. I'll always remember that.
That's
article.
what it was. Your focus wasn't there, Brian.
I was all over the place. All good, man. Look how things turn out, man. Appreciate you hopping on.
All right.